Because I'm happy, I'm alone. If you feel like a room without.
Welcome back to another tutorial for AP history classes. Today, we're all going to talk about HAPY Tones analysis. So what is that? So, history is really unique. There is a reason why we study history, and it's not for the reasons most people tend to think. The reason why we study history is to understand context, and context is extremely important. I'll give you an example. In 1908, Texan Jack Johnson went up against Canadian Tommy Burns. Jack Johnson won the match. Okay, big deal, right? Actually, it was really important. And the reason why was this. There was a huge racial division over this particular boxing match. Jack Johnson was African-American. Tommy Burns was white from Canada. Why was it such a big deal that this became an issue about race? This was a boxing championship. The reason why was at the time, people had made the argument that there was no way that an African-American could win in a boxing match. They just didn't have the same abilities, obviously rooted in racism here, right? And yet Jack Johnson won. The reason why this divided people so much was for African Americans, this wasn't just a boxing match. This was about their identity. It was about pride. It was about overturning racism. Now, if you just look at the match itself, it's a boxing match. But if you put it into context, then it becomes about the issues of segregation and racism of the early 1900s. That's the point of history. When we look at history, we don't just look at what happened or face value. We look at the context, what surrounds the time period. That's going to be really important when we get into documents. Whenever you critically look over documents, you don't want to just take a document at face value, just tell me what it says. You want to look at the document and ask some big questions about context. And that's where HAPY Tones analysis comes in. So let's jump into that right now. So let's jump into this really quick with HAPY Tones analysis. H stands for historical context. A is intended audience, P is point of view, and Y is purpose. And then last off is the tone of the document itself. Now we're going to use a document that pretty much everybody knows about, right? The Declaration of Independence. We know about that because it's one of our founding documents here in America, but it's very little understood. And the reason why for that is people read it at face value. They don't read it in context. So let's jump off here really quick with the historical context. The historical context, remember, is an example of what happened at the time period. So right before the Declaration got written, Sam Adams, one of the leaders of the revolution, noticed that 1/3 of Americans were loyalists, supported the British, 1/3 were patriots, and 1/3 basically didn't know whether or not they were ready for a revolution. So how would I talk about historical context when it comes to the Declaration of Independence? Well, I'd say something like this. Sam Adams noticed that most American colonists were either against or suspicious of a revolution. This created the need for a statement in favor of separation. Okay, next step is intended audience. Remember, who are we writing this document to? That actually affects the message of the document. So when we do intended audience, we don't want to talk about just generally who the audience is. We want to talk about the specific purpose for a specific audience. How would we do that for the Declaration of Independence? The writers of the Declaration of Independence were targeting moderate American colonists to join the cause of separation from Britain. Okay, next up is point of view. Who wrote the document? Now be careful with this. Don't just give me the name of the person. That's obvious. We all know the Declaration of Independence was written by Thomas Jefferson. The question is, who was Thomas Jefferson? So what I would put down is something like this. Thomas Jefferson was a founding father. He was an elite member of the community. He owned slaves. He owned a lot of land, and he was a revolutionary. Why does this matter? Well, here's why. What I end up writing here is not what he said, but how his social background influenced him. For example, Thomas Jefferson and founding fathers were all revolutionaries, fearing they could lose the war and be considered war criminals. So they needed to appeal to the American colonists to support their efforts. So next up is purpose. Purpose is not what the person said, but why they said it. For example, in the case of the Declaration of Independence, I wouldn't talk about what Thomas Jefferson said. I'd say why he said it. Thomas Jefferson said the Declaration of Independence because he was using it as wartime propaganda to get people on the side of the American revolutionaries. Okay, now last off is tone. What do I mean tone? When people write things, they write it with an emotion, right? They write critically, supportive, upbeat, sarcastic. In the case of the Declaration of Independence, we get a lot of exaggerated violations that the king has done to the American colonists. Why? Because by doing that, by demonstrating or exaggerating the violations of the British, we can create momentum for a revolution and separation. Okay, let's do some wrap-ups that are really important. First off, remember, we never take documents at face value. We look for context. Happy tones analysis gives us a way to analyze that kind of context. And last off, when you do documents, you don't have to do all of these different analyses, but you do need to do some of them in order to develop your writing at a complex level for deeper analysis. Okay, see you in class.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air, like I don't care, baby. By the way, because I'm happy.